Yeah, I didn't see the button. There we go.
Yeah, so the GameCube did eventually get decent wrestling games. WrestleMania 19 was really good, and the Day of Reckoning games. But yeah, going from
And he had
there,
Legends of Wrestling as well.
yeah, Legends of Wrestling and the Def Jam games as well, if you consider them
Oh
wrestling games.
yeah,
I don't know if you ever played those.
I never played them, but I was aware of them.
They were the same development company, Aki Corporation, that made the No Mercy games, and I feel like they just really wanted to make a wrestling game, and like
Hmm.
nobody would give them like a wrestling promotion license. So yeah, they eventually got picked up by Def Jam, who wanted to make a fighting game, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll make you a fighting game." Really, they just wanted to make a wrestling game. Uh, so they made a wrestling game starring a bunch of rappers. And what a
Okay.
fantastic concept that is! I would love them to do that with basically any genre you can think of. Like, I don't know, Tony Hawk's Vendetta, or they just get like skaters or something to like you could do it with so many brands. Yeah, um, fantastic games. Spent far too much time playing them.
Yeah. Um, Going back to WrestleMania X8, there are a couple of fun facts about that game actually.
Go on.
Uh, One of them was I believe it was the last game to be have the WWF name.
Oh, yeah, it would have been that. Would have been just before the get the F out campaign.
Yeah, and there were actually two covers for that game.
Oh
The
yeah,
original,
one had Hulk Hogan on it and Rob Van Dam, I think.
yep,
I was trying to think.
and in the middle of the original first run was Stone Cold.
Oh, who did they replace him with?
Well, when he walked out of the promotion, they replaced him with The Rock.
Uh,
So if you get The Rock on it, it's a later printing of the game. Whereas if you have, the Stone Cold one, that's like first print.
that's it's always an interesting thing. Like it's got to be quite political who appears on the cover of the game. Um, it's usually the biggest guy in the company. Like so SmackDown they had like it would always be The Rock or The Rock and Triple H on it.
Uh huh.
Um,
SmackDown Just Bring It. You had Spike Dudley.
really?
Yeah, he's getting put in the ankle lock by
Oh,
Kurt
okay. I see. I wonder if he got royalties from that
He
because he's
must do if he's on
technically
the
on.
cover.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
great for him. Like he's getting beaten up, but he still gets royalties.
Speaking about the people that are in the games and that, I know in SmackDown 2, Ken Shamrock and Big Show are in the game, but you can't play as them because Ken Shamrock left to go back to MMA and Big Show got put in developmental again.
It's just one of these scenarios where you can unlock them if you've got a Game Shark or something.
I think they only appear in the Royal Rumble and their names aren't in the game.
Okay.
And they're like super rare, I think. But that's the only way you can get to them.
Oh, I love. See, that was back in also awesome thing back in the day is this was just before the internet, or not everyone had the internet. So on the playground, there would be rumors about, oh, you can unlock this guy if you
Yeah.
do this. Um, like the one with WrestleMania on the N64 was always, oh, you can unlock a Hell in a Cell mode if you complete story mode with Mankind and don't lose any matches, and or if you win every match under 5 minutes or something. So me
Yeah,
and
it
my
was
friend
always.
would like try and do these ridiculous challenges and then be super disappointed when we finished the game and nothing had unlocked.
Yeah. Or was Fred Durst was in one of them?
Yeah, Fred Durst was actually in, I want to say, Just Bring It.
That sounds right. And I remember being told that, and I was like, but he's not a wrestler. Um,
I think part of his deal was you can use the song "Rollin" by Limp Bizkit if I can appear in the game as a playable character.
Great. Kid Rock should use that.
which is probably like they were like, yeah, sure, that's a lot easier than us paying you like $500,000 in royalties. So yeah.
Yeah.
So let's jump forward. No, actually, any other non-WWE video games that you have fond memories of?
Probably just Legends of Wrestling, I think. Maybe was it Legends of Wrestling 2? I can't, it was one of them. I think it might have been 2, but I just remember the roster was so good, and like I didn't like it more than the SmackDown games at the time, but it was a lot more. There was something different about it, which
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like WWE's had such a monopoly on wrestling video games, and no developer has dared to really make one without a wrestling game license, or even if they do have a video wrestling game license, they're not going to make a video game because they'll just get completely outwashed by the competition.
yeah, like I remember TNA had one, and it was apparently good.
Yeah. Oh, you never played it? It's
No Impact.
Yeah. I don't want to say it was good, but it had that you could clearly see, like, if they'd had more time, it would have been a great video game. It was just it lacked variation in moves and variation in game modes. But if you'd given them like another year to add in like more animations and more game modes,
yeah,
it would have been great. But of course, it only had one iteration and then it was scrapped. So yeah, it's really a shame. Although apparently they used the same game engine for that WWE. I can't remember what they called it. I think it's WWE All Stars, which was the ridiculously over the top video game.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I think the game engine for the TNA Impact game formed the basis for that game actually.
That might be the last WWE game I've played. Well, outside that 1-2 days I played 2K17 was actually All Stars, because I wanted to try to get the platinum trophy, and then found out it was impossible because you have to win like 10 matches in a row online.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is not a playground rumor?
The internet says so.
But no, I heard that was really. I never played it, but I heard it was a fun game, and it looks like the roster looks just freaking awesome. You've got guys like smaller guys from like Jack Swagger or Drew McIntyre, but you've also got guys like Eddie Guerrero and Sergeant Slaughter, and it seems like somebody's like stuck their hand in a box full of wrestling action figures, just pulled out random ones.
Yeah, like
yeah,
because you'd have like the big stars, like you had Shawn Michaels, Ultimate Warrior, Triple H, Undertaker, Dusty, but then you'd have Ted DiBiase Jr. and Kofi Kingston, which now would make sense, but this is whatever year this was. But yeah, Mr. Perfect, $1 Million Man, the Road Warriors, Roddy Piper, and who else is here that stands out? Honky Tonk fans there, Jericho's there, CM Punk, that's cool. Yeah, Drew McIntyre,
R-Truth.
Yeah,
Michael Hayes and Mark Henry. Like it really does feel like somebody's stuck their hand in a kid's box full of action figures and just pulled out like random ones.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that was a fun game. I did like that. They tried to recreate that with the latest game they've done, Battleground.
Yeah, that just to me that screams games as a service kind of game where you're going to be paying for like half the roster and different match types, and it just looks like it's been set up to suck money out of poor kids who want to play as, I don't know, Ricochet or whoever the wrestler is. You could I think you can unlock them via gameplay, but it's just one of those games where you have to grind and grind and grind to unlock the character, or you can unlock them by just straight up buying them. which I
Not
think
a
is a
fan.
really, really scummy business model, which seems to be growing and growing nowadays.
Yeah,
But
Fortnite sort of ruined it
yeah,
in that
let's talk
sense.
about that, the whole games as a service thing, because that seems to be edging into wrestling video games now. I mean,
Well, like you say, this, yeah,
you can always before the game comes out, there's always, oh, if you pre-order or if you get the special expensive collector's edition, you get, you know, this legend character, or you get these unlockable attires, or you can start the story mode with super XP, and yeah, it's almost like you're paying for half the game or paying for an advantage in the game. That
yeah,
just seems like so silly to me, so wasteful and just kind of sneaky, really.
yeah. They say like the normal reasoning behind it is, oh, with the way games are, we don't make as much money as we used to, and this and that. And I don't know how true that is.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I miss being able to buy a video game and have like, oh, you can unlock this character by meeting these requirements, and then that was a challenge for me to try do that. When now it seems like, oh, if you want to unlock Ricochet, he's in the store.
See, this you used to have the SmackDown Mall in No Mercy, and you would go to the SmackDown Mall with your SmackDown dollars that you earned in the game by playing the story mode, playing the Royal Rumble mode, and you would buy the character that way, and it was awesome. And
Yes.
nowadays, it's replaced the SmackDown dollars is replaced with actual dollars, and
I
that
mean,
just
they
seems
do give you the
insane.
option of earning money in the game, but the problem is the amount of grinding you need to do to get it
Yeah,
is ridiculous. Like they expect you, like much like WWE, they expect you to, once you have this game, this is the game you will play forever to unlock everything,
yeah.
and you won't play any other games. Um, and I don't like that. And there is, I believe, there's an EU law that says that if there are purchases like that or randomized boxes where you unlock random stuff,
Oh yes, the loot box law,
yeah, there needs to be a label on the box that says that so parents know.
because it's effectively encouraging or kindling gambling
Correct.
addictions. Because well, yeah, you're paying for something that you don't know what it actually is.
Correct.
And that thrill of, oh, what's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? Um, that's essentially part of the thrill of gambling. You're taking your spin on the wheel and you don't know where it's going to land, but that's part of the thrill.
Yeah. And like I say, games have to say if they've got these loot box things in them before they send them to press. And so they can put stickers on the boxes and stuff. And some game developers are now lying essentially, and saying no, there aren't, and then they release an update a week after and
Oh,
add a loop. Um,
whoa! That
Crash
seems,
Team Racing did that.
jeez, that seems a really, really shady business
Yeah.
um, act. Good grief!
So Crash Team Racing, a week after, it was a week or a month after it came out, they added a store with like a season pass and loot boxes and all that. And so they didn't have stickers on their boxes, but when parents bought them and took them home, there was an update that added it all. So yeah, game sort of like I miss like Smash Bros. I remember getting that and having, oh, there's 30 characters that I can
Yeah,
unlock.
yeah.
And one way of doing it was playing this mode, another way was doing this mode. If you played 4 hours, you got this guy. If you played 5 hours in this mode, you got this guy. And there's just all these different things that would make me come back because I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, we don't need to make a good game. We just need to make a game with gambling in it. Um,
Of course, there was that huge deal with the last Star Wars Battlefront game, uh,
yes.
where to unlock Darth Vader as a playable character, you had to like grind something ridiculous like 60 hours worth of time
Ugh.
into the game. So it just seems to be spreading throughout the games industry, and I guess that's why mobile games are so profitable now.
Yes.
Low development costs, and when you can put that kind of pay as you go methodology into your games, they must be reaping money. Why bother creating a deep AAA game when you can just make a simple mobile game and reap huge profits from in-game purchases?
Yeah, like if it's a free game that I've downloaded, I don't mind those sort of like I'm playing Smite at the moment, and that game was free to download. I have 10 heroes, and then there's 40 more I can unlock. But I haven't paid for the game, so I don't mind that I can pay X amount and unlock all the characters because that would cover what I'd pay if I bought the game new.
Yeah.
But it's when I pay what is now £50+ for a game, then like I don't know. Let me quickly look up how much Battlegrounds is on Amazon because you're getting like a tiny roster, aren't you?
Yeah.
30 quid. So you're paying 30 quid for a game and you're essentially not getting the whole game. You're getting a game mode or an aspect of that. And if you want to get the most of it, you then have to give them another 30 quid. That's where I have a problem. Yeah.
I wonder how many wrestlers you can start out with, like you don't have to unlock.
Let me look that up for you.
It says it's got more than 70 wrestlers in total, but I don't know how many of those are unlocked at the start or.
Oh, here we go. The SmackDown Hotel. Oh, it doesn't say how many. There's a lot of them, but it doesn't tell you which ones are available.
And again, the way this is like cartoony, stylized character models, it does kind of feel like it's essentially preying on kids who will beg their parents to, let them spend money in this game.
Yeah.
Very influential.
It's hard to find good. It doesn't say. Every website just gives you the roster. It doesn't tell you. No, it doesn't. Maybe I can't find it at least. But yeah, I watched someone play it, and I remember seeing the amount of characters that were in like locked, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like when I buy a game for 30 quid, I kind of want to play as my favorite wrestler from the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't know. But I hope the AEW game fixes this.
Oh, yes, of course. This was only announced. Well, they've announced that they had a game in development for a while, but the first trailer dropped for that last week or the week before.
I think 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't show off much at all.
No.
I think they're just trying to get across that this will be like a WWE or WWF No Mercy, is what they're essentially stressing in the video. Just judging by the way like the characters strike and counter and grapple, it looks very No Mercy-esque. Graphics wise, it looks a little like hyper realistic. They're not realistic looking wrestlers like in the WWE 2K games. They're a bit exaggerated.
Yeah, I think that's to emphasize the arcadey nature of it.
Yeah, like Jericho's got six-pack abs, which is hilarious. And Kenny Omega is absolutely jacked in real life. But in the game, he looks like crazily so.
Yeah. And they said it's the Aki team, is it?
They have
members
of
the head of
team. Yeah, because obviously it was so long when No Mercy came out in 2000, 2001. So obviously the people that have worked on it have moved on, and most of them, a good chunk of them probably don't even work in video games anymore. But they managed to track down a few of the development team. Have got them on board. So fingers crossed that's good, but I don't like. From what I've heard, it sounds like too good to be true. It's like they're telling the fans exactly what they want to hear. They're like, yeah, it's going to be like No Mercy, and also like Here Comes the Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah.
The other like really awesome video games that fans love. And they're like, yeah, Kenny Omega is going to be a special consultant on it. It's going to be great, and they're not going to release it until they're happy. And yeah, it looks hopeful, but I'm not completely sold yet until I see like proper gameplay.
Yep.
And until it's actually released. But I'm not like, I think a lot of fans are going to get very overexcited about it. But it is
definitely.
like a first release game, so it's not going to have like tons of like different game modes or like a really crazy in-depth story mode. I can't see that happening in the first iteration.
No.
No. Unless it's been in development for quite a few years, which I don't think it has.
No, I imagine it's only been in for like maybe a year now.
Yeah, so I think they need to reel in their hopes a bit. Like what I want is just just one that plays like you can have a really good wrestling match in a 1v1, and you could just basically play 1v1 or whatever basic wrestling match types over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Rather than having a crazy different amount of match types, but the gameplay just not being fun at all.
Yeah, I'd rather have a solid foundation than like
exactly
a really wide. Like you can have every match type you want. Like no, I'd rather
because the current WWE games got crap tons of match types, but nobody screams about them because they just meh.
Like who does the special referee matches and who does the
and but that's it's just nice to have a bit of competition, I suppose, and hopefully it makes WWE put a bit more effort into their video games, because of course they cancelled the regular 2K annual release this year, didn't they?
Which is what Battlegrounds has replaced.
It was so disastrous last year. They switched development teams, and from what I understand, the new development team got issued a code that they had no idea what to do with, no experience with. They just got lumped with.
I hope they were a developer that only had worked on farming simulators before.
Well, this is the other thing. Like, I always feel like there's other ways you can make a wrestling game. Like, I know the wrestling booker games are really popular. I have never played them, but on PC there's a wrestling booker game that's really popular. And do you remember the WWE racing game that they had? It was almost like a kart racer, I think.
Oh, they had like a couple. They had a racing game. They also had like car, like Twisted Metal.
Hour? Yeah.
Crush Hour. That was oh wow, there's a lot of. Oh no, I don't want a list of them by 2K. I want, if you Google WWE video games, it goes straight to 2K, and I don't want 2K.
But there's pretty much a meme going around now that AEW will make a kart racing game, like a Mario Kart racing game.
Oh, okay.
And I'm actually beginning to believe it's become such a meme that they'll pick up on it, and they will actually make a. Because I can imagine it's probably a lot easier to make a kart wrestling game, or like a Mario Kart style racing game, than it is to make an actual wrestling game.
Yeah.
I could totally see them like cashing in on that and making like a simple mobile game that everyone would buy, just because you could like drive around as Kenny Omega in a car.
Yeah. Did you ever play Fire Pro Wrestling World?
Yes. That's one thing I completely forgot to mention. I got hooked on Fire Pro Wrestling. Actually, it came out on the Game Boy Advance, and I had a Game Boy. And I just wanted a wrestling game for it, and I must have skipped over the actual WWE games for the Game Boy Advance, and I saw this, Fire Pro Wrestling, what's this like? And I had no idea what it was like.
Mhm.
and I thought it was just going to be like a terrible budget wrestling game with generic characters. And it did have generic characters in it, but it also was heavily based on Japanese style wrestling. And oh my god, it was so in depth. I couldn't believe it. Like the amount of moves. And this was just a simple 2D Game Boy game, and you had like literally hundreds upon hundreds of moves, and all of them were like ripped off of like either New Japan or WWE moves. So it was like super easy to make like really authentic looking creator wrestlers of actual wrestlers. And
Okay.
I would pump like it's probably one of the games I put the most time into, because I would create, and you could also create, like in most wrestling games, you had a limit on the creator wrestler roster where you could make like, I don't know, 15, 20 created wrestlers.
Hmm.
In Fire Pro on the Game Boy, you could make literally about 150, I think.
Oh wow.
And not only were they all had different attires, they had different AI. You could program the AI to react in certain ways. Like, say, if I don't know, you created the Undertaker and you gave him the Tombstone as finisher, you could then modify the AI so he would always go for his, Undertaker style pin after he
Yeah.
hit the Tombstone. So stuff like that, you could just tweak it so immensely. Again, this got me hooked on Fire Pro, where I probably spent more time creating wrestlers and giving them their proper moves than actually playing the game. Um, so yeah, I picked up Fire Pro World when it released on the PC, and
Hmm.
it's great. It's even more in depth than that. You can create thousands of wrestlers. You can download other people's wrestling creations. A lot of people don't actually play the game. They spend all their time creating wrestlers, creating the wrestlers AI, and then they sit back and just watch the AI play versus the AI,
Oh wow.
watch the
Well,
matches play out.
most of the stuff I see on social media is things people have created.
Yeah,
Like
it
yeah,
looks so authentic. Like looks like, because you can also create the ring mat and the ropes and stuff.
yeah,
So it's like super easy to like. It looks like an AEW game or a WWE, a 2D WWE game. It's fantastic. The gameplay is a bit limited. It hasn't really advanced much since the like Game Boy games or the PlayStation 2 games.
yeah,
But still, yeah, it takes quite a while to get hold a hang of, because it's very much based on timing as opposed to button mashing.
okay.
So when you walk up to your opponent, you automatically initiate a grapple. But who wins that grapple is determined by who times the button press at the exact moment the wrestlers connect. It's quite bizarre, but once you get the hang of it, yeah, it's really really good.
I need to check that out. I just don't like paying £30 for a digital game.
Well, this is the thing. This is almost like the polar opposite of what we were saying before, where you have to buy your roster in this, because everyone has made everyone,
Yeah,
literally every conceivable wrestler since the dawn of time. I'm talking the likes of Lou Fez. Like, you can name any
Mad Kurt
wrestler.
is in this.
Yeah, Mad Kurt's in it. I I can imagine pretty much every like indie wrestler you can think of is in that game.
Yeah,
You can just search the creator wrestlers, download them instantly, and somebody's gone through and done all their moves and made a perfect rendition of them.
yeah.
And of course, it's free, so that's
Well, it's
awesome.
free to download them. Yeah, the
Yeah,
game itself, yeah,
yeah. I
is
think you can pay extra for story modes and a booker mode as well.
yeah. There's a
Um,
New Japan mode
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
that's it. Yeah,
£15 on top.
yeah, which is
So
fair enough. But yeah,
yeah,
for bang for your buck, it's great.
I posted this on Twitter yesterday, but I don't like paying a lot for a digital game because I technically don't own the game. Then
Yeah. So when the game
um,
goes off the store, it's gone forever, even though
yeah,
you've paid for it.
yeah. So I bought like the Simpsons arcade game on the PS3, and I bought Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and they just took them off the store.
Mm.
And now I paid whatever it was for that, seven, I think probably more for the Simpsons one, but £10 plus. and I don't own it. Like, you don't own it. You're essentially renting it for a long time.
Yeah, and I don't think Fire Pro World had a physical release either.
Oh, I think it does on PS4.
Oh yeah, on PS4, yeah, it does, but not on PC. I don't think. But I might be wrong.
Oh no, you can't even buy it because it's sold out. I forgot. So yeah,
On PS4, it's sold out
on PS4, on Amazon and all that. Yeah,
again because
PS4 version
it's
sold out.
quite a niche game. I suppose they didn't see worth it printing physical copies.
I could buy it used for 40 quid.
Oh, this is the thing. I had because again, Fire Pro wrestling games were very niche. The PS2 game, the UK version of it, was super rare, like super rare. I managed to get my hands on one, and I think I sold it for at least twice as much as I bought it for.
Yeah.
But, I definitely recommend Fire Pro, but it will take. I do warn you, it will take a while to get into the gameplay. But once you get the hang of it, yeah, you're set. It's great fun.
There's a really cool collector's edition in Japan that comes with the game, a towel, and a T-shirt in the style of Naito shirts, but rather than saying LIJ and all that, it says Fire Pro Wrestling, and it comes with 3 figures.
See, that is the kind of like I never buy collector's editions.
Yeah,
because they usually just come with loads of tat that I never really want. But that actually sounds awesome.
Yeah, so you get that. You get Okada, Omega, Naito, and Tanahashi figures, all for 50 quid. I would have got that, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm trying to think, like, what would get you to buy a wrestling game now?
Basically everything AEW have been saying about their game. Just like great basic gameplay that you can just play, like as I say, a single match over and over again and get joy out of it. Like when I was playing No Mercy, because honestly, if you looked at my N64 console when I was in my early teens, there's 3 games that would be in it at pretty much all times. It would either be No Mercy, Perfect Dark, or Legends of Zelda. And when I was playing No Mercy, I wasn't playing. Occasionally, I played like a ladder match or whatever, or a hardcore match. But most of the time, I was just playing single matches over and over and over again. And having that kind of replayability in your singles match is what would attract me to a game now. It's just a really good gameplay. And a really good creator wrestler mode as well. Essentially, because that gives you the ability essentially to add, characters until the end of time, as well as create your friends. And like there's a fine line in creator wrestler modes, I feel, on wrestling games where it can't be too well, it can be in depth, but you should be able to make a reasonable representation of the wrestler you're going for in 10-15 minutes. Whereas now I feel like in the most recent 2K games I've played, you are there forever, like tweaking bars and just trying to make a face look reasonable, or like every time you load up a different part, you have to go for a loading screen and it just takes forever and it's not enjoyable whatsoever. However, on the N64 wrestling games, you could make a wrestler who looked like who you were trying, like if you were trying to make Goldberg or somebody, you could make somebody look like Goldberg in literally like 5-10 minutes. And it was great fun doing so. But now it feels like more of an effort to make a good creator wrestler.
I feel like it wasn't so much like on the old ones you could spend forever doing it, but it was because maybe the options that were there. Well, now it's like the slight tweaking of variations on cheekbones and things like that, as opposed to
I mean, thankfully now most people upload the creations and you can just download them, which kind of does take away some fun. But
there are some people who aren't that creative, so it sort of helps them.
Yeah, Plus, you don't have that much time to play video games anymore, so you can't really justify putting like hours into like creating wrestlers when somebody's done a better job than you will ever do online. You can just download it. So yeah, that would probably be my two main things in a wrestling video game. How about you?
For me, I just kind of want like Here Comes the Pain again, but with the modern roster and updated graphics.
That's exactly what AEW say they're gonna, like. That's the name that they dropped.
Yeah, like I liked the simple circle with grapples, but the counters were easy enough.
Yeah,
and the punches and kicks were there, and you had like your ladder match and your Hell in this Elimination Chamber. That was my jam. Yeah, I don't want it to be complicated. I don't want it to feel more like when I play a wrestling game, I want like a basic, I can do this, and this. I don't want to think, oh, what's this button combination and what's this and that. It's just, I want to pick my guy. Yeah, I want to pick up my guy. I want to pick an opponent, go in and be able to do the cool moves that I like. And like, there is some strategy, like Here Comes the Pain introduced like the wear down the body parts and things.
Yeah.
I just kind of like that because it's like, oh, I can work the leg, or I can, do a bunch of neck breakers, then hit them once in the head and they'll stop bleeding.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works.
You could apply some strategy.
Yeah. And I feel like every game after that, like SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 as well, was also good. Yes. That sort of basic thing, essentially.
And I feel like AEW probably has the advantage of the actual promotion. They don't really have many speciality match types yet.
No.
I mean, what's the craziest? Oh, I suppose Stadium Stampede. That would be kind of fun. That would be awesome, kind of, to play in a wrestling game. And I don't think it'd be too difficult for the developers to create. It's just a wrestling ring, and then have like a massive, essentially, outside area of the wrestling ring where you can run around the stadium.
Yeah, like in SmackDown 2, you could run past the Titantron and you'd go backstage and you could go to the bathroom and this and that.
Yeah.
Just do it similar to that, really.
Yeah. You don't have to make a bunch of complex rules or anything.
No. One of my favorite things about that back in the day was you would Irish whip someone, and if it was a big open area, they would just keep going. And then like they'd run like half a mile and then go, oh wait, there's no ropes. I'll just stop.
As they would in real life. As we know.
Why didn't they do that as a joke in Stadium Stampede? Like Matt Hardy Irish whips Sammy Guevara and he just runs forever. And he's like, there's no ropes to stop me. Matt Hardy can steal that idea if he wants. I'll give it to him. Or one episode of AEW, Matt Hardy Irish whips someone. And then the next, he's not seen for the rest of the episode. The next episode, they go to a nearby state and they'll find him still running because he hasn't encountered any obstacles. And then the next episode, they'll be in the state next to that and he'll still be running. Yeah.
Amazing.
Steal that idea. I'll let them have that.
That's yeah. I hope they do incorporate some humor, like of that AEW style, like humor into the game as well. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Just wait till I'm on the AEW creative team. When you see that happen, it was made here. I just thought of that just now.
Genius. Yeah, but that would be cool in the AEW game, just to play as some wrestlers who have never been in a video game before. Some of the like indie guys. I don't know.
Luchasaurus,
there you go. Or Jungle Boy, or like these other guys, like Colt Cabana, guys who have been on the indies forever, but they've never had a chance to be in a wrestling video game.
Yeah. Although I wonder if Scotty Goldman was in like 2K12.
He might have been.
He's in the WWE Encyclopedia book.
Yeah. And I remember him saying he got one piece of merchandise the entire time he was there. The only thing he was featured on.
It was like a POG or something, wasn't
it? It was a poker chip.
Yeah, that was
the WWE poker game. Which he's got, which is awesome. I love seeing that he's had success in AEW finally.
Oh,
he deserves it so much.
He was like the wrestler that I wanted to meet when I started training with Rev Pro. When I saw that he wrestled for Rev Pro, I was like, I want to meet him so badly, and I eventually did. And I have a funny story about that, but I'll tell that another time. But yeah, I want to play as Colt Cabana. I'll be interested to see what they do, because like how would Marco Stunt work in the game? Would he be like odd job in?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like
Goldeneye?
odd job in Goldeneye.
Like you can't clothesline him.
That'd be amazing. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
and I bet you he has pitched that idea. He is the kind of guy that would do that because he's cool.
Oh my god. So that would make what Luchasaurus would be like Jaws.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the first time I've been excited for a wrestling video game as well.
It's just nice to have something different, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
There's also another wrestling game coming out that's also featuring guys from the independents.
Oh, I know. It's like that's retro one, isn't it?
Retromania. I think you're thinking
Yes.
of. Oh, okay. So there's 4 then, because that's not the one I was thinking of.
Okay. But yeah, I've been hearing about Retromania for ages, and it's one of those things that, you know, I've heard about it so long and they've been promoting it for so long. I kind of question when it will come out or if it will come out, because yeah. What one were you thinking of?
It's what they've named it recently. It's called the Wrestling Code.
Okay.
If you give that the old Google. They've been signing up independent wrestlers, including guys such as Brian Cage,
Okay.
Alex Shelley, Eli Drake, EC3, Dan Muff,
The
Cheeseburger,
Bushwhackers.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb, Rob Van Dam. It's got a very cool Zach Gowen.
Eric Redbeard.
Yeah, I think that's Eric Rowan from WWE.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah.
But again, it's by a developer I'm completely unfamiliar with. So it's just cool that there's going to be another wrestling game coming out.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see, like, have they released like any kind of gameplay?
No, I think they've released some screenshots of what the models will look like.
Okay, yeah, I've seen those, yeah.
But I'm guessing because they're developing the engine from the ground up and they're a relatively new development team, it's probably going to be a while before they're comfortable showing anything that is screen worthy, which is fair enough.
Yeah, like Retromania looks cool because it looks like WrestleMania the arcade game.
Yeah, they know exactly what they get, the style they're going for, and the kind of gameplay they're going for.
Yeah,
it's got the strangest roster as well. It's got like Tommy Dreamer and Stevie Richards, and it's also got the Road Warriors.
Well, I've just done like a bit of research on this, and I find it because I was talking about like how long this game has been in development. It's been in development for so long that what's his name? Oh, what's his name? Starship Pain.
Oh,
Johnny Nitro.
Johnny Nitro, yeah.
John Morrison is in this game, but he's signed, isn't he, to WWE?
Yeah, I wonder if they'll have issues
That's how.
with
that. I don't know, because this trailer's from June 2020, and he's in that. But yeah, and Brian Myers is in it, Tommy Dreamer's in it. But that looks like, you know, I'd play that. Yeah. 16 playable wrestlers at launch.
Yeah, looks fun.
Yeah, I will look into that, like, depending on price, obviously. If it's like 15, you know, go for it. If it's 25, maybe wait for a Steam sale.
I'm just happy there's more and more wrestling games coming out other than just WWE games.
Yeah, and like you were saying, it will bring in like a casual fan, because if like, I don't know, if my cousin saw a game that looked like Super WrestleMania that he had on the Mega Drive, he's likely to try it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
As opposed to, oh, this is the wrestling that I don't watch now and it looks super realistic. I won't check that out.
Yeah, things are looking hopeful.
Yeah.
Cool. As we kind of sideswipe into something slightly related, do you want to plug your what you're doing on Twitch recently?
Oh
I
yes,
know you finished Tomb Raider 2.
I finished Tomb Raider 2. I beat Sonic Generations in like 3 hours.
Is it that short a
I'm
game?
like there's a lot of extras around it, but I wasn't doing the extras. I was just trying to beat the campaign and show
Yeah.
off because people want to see City Escape updated, so I
Yeah.
showed that off. Like, but I'm trying to play Arkham Asylum at the moment, but my PC can't handle my webcam and the game running at the same time,
Oh my goodness.
so I need to upgrade my PC.
Oh.
So at the moment, like I'm trying to do that, and then yesterday I was going back and doing some speedrunning techniques for Tomb Raider, and I feel like I get a lot more people tuning in to watch me practice speedrunning than I do showing other games. So yeah, you can find me there at TaylorMade Aiden Taylor. I'm nearly at my 50 follower goal, so it's exciting. I got a
And
bunch yesterday. Yeah, where can people follow you?
well, this is the very exciting news, Ethan.
Oh,
Last week, basically set myself up. Well, tested to see if I could set myself up on Twitch, and it worked.
aha!
Hooray! Thanks to the additional monitor that my work gave me for, working on doing my actual job on, I can also
Yeah,
use that to help me stream. So, yeah, I've set myself up Benjamin Black PW on Twitch. I will be streaming very, very soon. I'm not sure exactly when, but I was thinking I'm probably going to stream WWF No Mercy on the Nintendo 64.
oh, cool.
However, I've created a bunch of the Rev Pro roster. I don't know if you've seen on Instagram.
Oh, yes, I did.
So I'm going to be basically streaming Rev Pro wrestling matches on No Mercy with Rev Pro created wrestlers. So you're going to see the likes of Kenneth Halfpenny and Rob the Gob, Joshua James, Mad Kurt,
Dream matches.
yeah, JJ Gale, Dan McGee, Sean Jackson, all of them lot. And I'll be basically creating wrestlers in Rev Pro and having them go head to head. So if people
Yeah,
follow me, I'll create a wrestler of them and have them get beaten up by Rev Pro wrestlers. So that'd be cool.
I just clicked follow, so I will be following.
Awesome.
I'll
As I
be
say,
interested to actually watch the create a wrestler process because I've never actually played No Mercy, so I'll be interested to see that process.
yeah, it's a good career wrestler. You can go in depth, but not crazy in depth. As I say, you can make a good creator wrestler in about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah,
Obviously, it helps that the graphics are pretty terrible by today's standards. So anything that kind of resembles the wrestler, you're like, oh yeah, that looks like that wrestler. So
yeah.
I'm very excited to start that soon.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about or plug on this week's podcast?
Nando's sponsor us, please.
Yes.
Uh,
Any CEOs of Nando's or, in fact,
A-
any fast food pizza places?
yeah. Arizona iced tea. I've been drinking them on my streams lately. I'm enjoying their iced tea, and their white tea with blueberries. So, yeah.
Oh, who
Hit
makes
me up.
the super sour sweets that you've been eating?
Oh, I don't know because my sweets don't have a label on
Oh
them
my god, that sounds so dodgy.
because I
They
imagine they
just
don't want
come
to
in
be
a
tracked.
clear plastic bag with no label on.
I should. Did I explain that on this stream? This
No, I don't
podcast.
think you did. Go on.
So, um, I set a goal that if I hit 25 followers, I'd have one of these sweets under peer pressure from Kenneth Halfpenny, and we did. We reached the goal while I was trying to do a really, not really complicated, but a complicated glitch in Tomb Raider. And I've got these blueberry sweets here that are in a little clear plastic bag, which sounds
How did
dodgy.
you get them if you didn't like? If they
Oh,
got no.
I was in a sweet shop in Bakewell,
Oh my goodness.
and it just said blueberry sours, and I was like, I love sour sweets. I love blueberry. I'll have these, and it's hell. I've had these for about a month, and I've had 3 of them because they're that bad.
Mm.
I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 left. And so you put them in, and the first outer layer is just the most sour thing you will ever experience.
Yeah.
And it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. And eventually, after a while, you reach a second layer.
It's like the layers of hell.
It is. And then in the middle is like this little core that if you break, it releases a powder that's just pure sour. And I was having this on stream. I kid you not. It's on Twitch. You can find it. It's 40 minutes of me suffering.
Oh.
And I'm coughing and I'm crying. And it was bad. And I was trying to do this corner glitch. And I did it. And I stupidly, after doing it, said, if I get to 50, I will have 2 of them. And
what are you doing when you get to 100?
Put one up my bum. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
You'll find you something super sour when you get to 100.
So, this is another thing I want to bring up because it's wrestling related. Have you seen The Undertaker on Hot Ones?
Yes, yeah, I did. No. I've seen that he has done one. Oh, who did I watch on Hot Ones? Oh, Sasha Banks I watched on Hot Ones recently. Sorry.
Yeah, Jericho's done it, and now The Undertaker's done it out of character.
Yeah. What was it like?
It's really good. It's a really good interview. Like, he's super open about things, and you can tell that he loves talking about wrestling. You can tell that.
Yeah, well, he basically had to hold it in, like, not break character for decades and decades, and now he can finally break character. He's probably got so much to talk about.
Yeah, and the guy interviewing, you can tell he's a fan of The Undertaker, and he asked some questions, and The Undertaker's like, wow, I didn't know the internet knew about that. So yeah, someone said that I should do a similar show with sour sweets.
Yes.
And I should interview Andy Quilden.
Yes. Oh, we definitely, yeah. Well, we could just call it like sour ones or something.
Well, I said I'd call it the sour note.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant.
So yeah. So yeah, if you want to watch me play Tomb Raider and suffer, follow me. And if I get I think I'm only 8 or so away, 10 so away from having to do this thing. Because when I get to 50, I get to become what they call an affiliate.
Yeah.
So I get to update my channel and I get to create emotes and all these cool things. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And follow Benjamin Black so he can become an affiliate as well.
Well, we'll see.
But no, I appreciate the podcast listeners have been joining me on Twitch, like Simon and Kenneth Halfpenny comes to all of them, and my mate Tuts, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So how do you announce when you're about to go on Twitch? Do you usually do it via your Twitter?
Yes, and you can follow me there at, I think it's the Aiden Taylor, which some people have actually not messaged me, but posted about how hard it is to find me on Twitter. I am at the Aiden Taylor, or you can search TaylorMade Aiden Taylor and I appear.
Awesome. Cool.
And you are at?
I am Benjamin Black PW on Twitter.
Benjamin
Black
easy.
Wrestler on Instagram.
Was Benjamin Black PW on Instagram taken?
I think so, or I just couldn't be bothered to change it. I think I just put wrestler to begin with, and I couldn't be able to change it. But if you search Benjamin Black, you'll no doubt find me. There's not many of us on the old Instagram. Yeah,
you can find me on Instagram, but I don't go on it that much because I was just using it when I was active on the scene. But at the moment, it's kind of hard to update it because I have a wrestler and a personal Instagram. But that's the story for another time about how that got set up for me.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Cool. Are you streaming tonight? Did you say?
No, I'm playing Smite with the guys. I might stream tomorrow. It depends. I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. British time, Greenwich Mean Time, and I might do a surprise one at weekends. I don't know. But if I do a surprise one, you can find it on Twitter.
Yes. Cool. Right. Well, it's been a very fun episode. I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, and we'll hopefully speak to you very, very soon.
Take care, everyone.
Cool. Take care. Bye bye.